A lot of y'all think that y'all live in the movies, and y'all not. A lot of y'all think it's a game, and it's not. A lot of y'all think that all of this is cool, and you know what I mean, that y'all some gangsters until gangsters happens. Today we talking about, what's this dude name? Lindell Price and the turkey leg hut scandal. So Lindell Price is a brother from Houston, made something of himself, and made something of himself with people he grew up with. I mean, people that he went to school with. Made a brand and built a brand that started out as a food truck or a stand and eventually became a restaurant. Now, growing something like this is very difficult. Like, it's not easy to get people's attention on anything. Let's keep that in mind. It's very hard to build anything that people care about. And once you build that, to keep it going, especially in business. You know what I'm saying? You have all of these different things that you got to go through. You got the money that you're making. You have ego, which is a big part of a lot of this whole entire conversation. You have taxes. You have just who you are and what you stand for. And this brother Lynn is in a very, very serious situation. So back in, I think, 2020, he was alleged to have had one of his former business partners' restaurants burnt down. And let's just watch some of the news report so we could go through it. And you know how we do this. As we go through the footage, we're going to talk about it. Let's go.
New at 3, bombshell claims in the federal arson case against the former Turkey Leg Hut co-owner. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serrano.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance video from that early morning in June of 2020 when masked men poured gasoline all over the patio before that fire that then caused an explosion and destroyed the building. An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up.
So, yo, I mean, let me tell y'all something. This is not an indictment against all black businesses, because I know that there was this, big conversation recently in the past, like 2 weeks, about comments that Wayno had made regarding black businesses. But let's just check this out for a bit and look at it with a fine eye and go through it with a comb. This brother is alleged to have committed arson on a former business partner. This for paying some guys $1,400. Now, I think Tretch was the one that said I do my dirt all by my lonely. And the reason why is because now there's an informant. You know what I mean? And there's an informant that's talking with the feds because, of course, when things is going through like this, people think that they could just operate however they want, right? They think that they can operate however they want. But knowing, that now these is accusations, but you're in the feds. And everybody like to talk about that federal conviction rate, a 97 to 99%. And why do they talk about it? Because the feds don't come and they don't play around because they get solid evidence. One of my friend's lawyers told me one time that the feds do not have to catch you to catch you. And he was serious because my friend ended up going to the feds. But let's read a little bit through the report, right? So it says, Lynn Price, co-founder of Houston's renowned Turkey Leg Hut, has recently been arrested on federal arson charges to a 2020 related fire at Bar 5015, a nearby establishment owned by his former business associate, Steve Rogers. Price is accused of orchestrating the arson by allegedly paying accomplices $1,400 to set the bar ablaze, resulting in over $450,000 in damages, right? Man. Now, of course, this is what I get from it. Things had gotten a little rocky. He thought about, bringing him into this other situation. Buddy refused. Steve refused. Nah, I ain't trying to do none of that with you. And he did that based on what? Possibly Lynn's character, right? Now, Lynn's attorney is trying to fight for him to get out of prison, to get a bond because his co-defendants have bonds. But the story that's being painted is that Lynn is basically committing conspiracy, right? Because it's conspiracy to get somebody else to do something for you. They said that he wanted other people to do his dirty work. Now, guess what? Them other people that you got to do your dirty work, as them rats then got squeezed, they squealing. You know what I mean? Like, you squeeze a rat, they gonna scream. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna scream and they're gonna tell and they're gonna put everything on you. And this is gonna be a culmination of people just cooperating against him. Now, he did go to prison, at one point in time for tax evasion. Let's watch a little bit more on the story, and then we're gonna come back with our thoughts, and I'm gonna read some more through the report, and we're going to make it a little bit easier for everybody today.
Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Now, around both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the two men were in touch.
And Bryce, we know you sat in court throughout the morning. What was Price's demeanor like in court today, and what do we know about what happens next?
Lisa, Lynn Price was still handcuffed and shackled. He was wearing an olive green jumpsuit. He had many people there to support him and seemed hopeful at the beginning of this hearing. He was nodding at them as they came in, but then as the hearing went on, he seemed to keep his head down. And then at times when some of these new allegations came out and were discussed, he would appear to react and shake his head. He was then taken back into custody while we await this judge's decision.
Didn't your moms teach you to not play with fire? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This nigga, he's diabolical, bro. Because y'all stole a car to get an engine out of it. And I mean, that's just karma. You know what I mean? Like, if this is true, that's just karma. Y'all stole a cop's car and you paid dude. Listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. They found dude who set the car on fire and stole it and said, listen, you stole a cop car. Now, you gonna be charged with attempted murder of this cop because you stole his car, his vehicle. They probably put so much charges on him, man, he couldn't think. His head was spinning. He was looking like CJ in GTA. You know what I mean? He was looking like that scene. And he didn't talk. Bro, this dude, I ain't gonna lie, man, they gonna hang this dude. They gonna hang him because they gonna paint him as a picture like Kingpin. You know what I'm saying? Kingpin from Daredevil. They gonna paint him as this diabolical, violent wizard that orchestrates all of these negative things and uses other people to do his bidding so that he can't get in trouble. They also said that they phones, bro. I don't understand why y'all keep playing with these phones, bro. Every time when we get an iOS update or whatever update they do on Androids, I'm pretty sure they do updates on that. You sign a contract, bro. You sign a whole contract. Like, it'd be all, soon as you turn your phone back on, soon as your phone reset, it'd be a whole contract. You know what everybody do? Swipe everything and just say accept. Once you accept, you done turned over the rights to everything you done did at that time. So you mean to tell me that these two was in contact with one another? Let's say you don't got the calls, but they was calling each other at the times that the car was still. I'm pretty sure because this is a cop's car, he has surveillance around his house or whatever the car was parked. Then you got oh man, bro. All right, two arsons. So it says the incident report, it was reportedly motivated by a business dispute after Rogers declined a partnership from Price. In addition to the arson charges, federal authorities alleged that Turkey Hut was used as an upfront large-scale marijuana distribution with up to 1,000 pounds of marijuana stored on site and sold in bags branded with the restaurant's logo. While no drug charges have been filed against Price, prosecutors claim he orchestrated the operation while distancing himself from direct involvement. Oh my God, bro. You know how hard. Now listen, you know, they say that 85% of restaurants fail in the first year. 85% of the restaurants fail in the first year, man. So y'all doing all this, right? You doing all this. You know what it sounds like to me? Let's look at this objectively. What it sounds like to me, if what they saying about Price is true, that, you know, he was making money from Turkey Leg Hut. I remember people used to always talk about it. I never had Turkey Leg Hut before, but he was making money. And then maybe he got into some financial troubles, or maybe he didn't. Or maybe he was letting somebody move some work out of his spot. And even though he's not charged with that, they're going to add that in, man. And then you using the brand. It's like, remember the scene in what's that, American Gangster? When he telling Nicky Barnes, man, do whatever you want with it, but just don't call it Blue Magic. So y'all doing what y'all doing, and y'all really took turkey bags. You know that's what people call the pounds. Turkey bags. Y'all took it to the next level and started doing it. Man, it's just pay to be. Listen, man, if you can go the legal route, I ain't knocking nobody, man. Tupac said it. It's hard to be legit and still pay your rent, because it really is. It's tough out here for everybody, man. Everybody got bills, baby mothers, child support, backed up payments, all types of things. You know what I mean? And everybody trying to get it the way they can, because it's not easy. I mean, I know millionaires that's panicking on a daily because they trying to maintain their lifestyle. But this right here, man, how much could have been done if things could have been resolved, or if people could have gone their separate ways? So it also says Price's legal troubles are compounded by personal and financial issues, including a contentious divorce from co-founder Nakia Holmes, who accused him of abuse and infidelity. The couple's separation led to Price's termination from the Turkey Leg Hut in early 2024, and the restaurant subsequently filed bankruptcy, citing debts of $4.7 million. God damn, when it all falls down. This is not no joke out here. Now listen, I know I said something about black businesses earlier, right? And again, I'm not saying that as a joke or an indictment on black businesses. We should support black businesses. We should be, doing everything we can to build up our community, because I think that's the one thing that we lack sometimes. I don't want to talk about the violence or anything that happen between us. I want to talk about community, a sense of belong. Me looking at that other black man over there and feeling like that's my brother. Me looking at that black woman over there and feeling like that's my sister, and feeling compelled to hold them down, feeling compelled to teach and lead and learn from one another. Each one teach one. All of the things that the Black Panthers has set, for us, Fred Hampton, all of them, and they made it illegal for us to teach one another. We need some sort of sense of community, man. And I mean, by the looks of some of the things that's alleged on Lynn, it don't look like he getting out. And it don't look like they gonna let him out no time soon. Now, keep in mind, I don't know Lynn. Never met him a day in my life. I heard about Turkey Leg Hut. I heard it was a dope spot. I heard that people used to have fun there. But when it looks like this situation that transpired just got out of control. And a lot of it is ego. A lot of it is power tripping. I mean, if his wife says what happened, the infidelity and all of that, that's ego. You know what I'm saying? They got into a divorce. I'm pretty sure he probably felt like his back was against the wall. And I'm speaking on alleged because he hasn't been convicted about nothing. But I'm speaking allegedly. If he was put into a tough position, man, wish there was a community, or he had a community that could have helped him bounce back. But if he started doing all of these things amidst everything he was going through, then, he made his own bed. Let's watch the last, part of the news report, and then we're going to get up out of here, y'all.
So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud-related charges. Once he got out on supervised release, prosecutors allege that he's been involved in other criminal activity, including paying a co-defendant in this arson case to steal vehicles and heavy machinery. The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging. Prosecutors allege Lynn Price got the proceeds and gave some of the money to that co-defendant. And while he's not charged connected to those allegations specifically, Price's attorney argues he is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after natural disasters.
Yeah, man, like Stephen A. Smith said, I'm here to tell you, we don't care. The feds don't care about nothing that you did to build your community, bro. You got a rat, you know what I'm saying? Dude is ratting on you. And that's just it. It really looks like Lynn is cooked out here, pun intended. Let this be a lesson, man. Let this be a lesson. Things get tough. You know what I mean? Life is not easy, man. If you a devout Christian, devout Muslim, Jew, whatever faith you may adopt, in none of the books that's put forth in front of any of us to live our lives says the word easy. Life is hard. It's not no joke, and it's not a game. Stop playing out here before it's too late, for real, because for the stuff that he's alleged of, they probably going to try to give him at least 10 to 15, maybe even 20. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody died, nobody passed away, but, you know, when you start playing them arson games and fraud and, you know what I'm saying, and you just get nasty. This is I Do It Myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. Catch you on the next one. Peace.